I'm over this. Sometimes I want it back. Yes. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Don't be scared. You know you want it. I'm over this. Sometimes I want it back. Yes. Don't be scared. You know you want it. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Don't be scared. You know you want it. I'm over this. Sometimes I want it back. Yes.
No way. No way. What is this garbage?
Hello, traders. Welcome to the Thursday afternoon dump stream in 4K. Yes, we will get to watch the dump happen in the highest of high qualities. And it's not just in crypto, it is also in the equities market. And even the metals are feeling the effects of a spiking volatility index currently trading over $20. So we shall just go ahead and get into it. Here's Bitcoin, chat. The coveted, the $99,000 support that they defended from November 4th to the 7th caught a relief rally, a buyer-inducing rally to push the price of the asset up to the next inflection zone. We know it so well. It's not a joke. Cover this every single effing day. I'm live, right? The candle closes from 2024 in January this year. Right? They tested it and confirmed its validity as resistance. We got a bearish engulfing candle yesterday, or 2 days ago. We got the follow-through candle today, or yesterday, and today we're getting the complete and utter resolution of that.
Are you eating? Swolnish.
What's up, Green the Legend, man? Thanks for the $5. Is this super chat? Thank you, dude. What am I eating? Lots of protein. Protein shakes, creatine, really important. But consistency, man. I've been training for 2+ years. But you know what? Bitcoin has been slacking, right? Has not been lifting the weights. In fact, is very heavy right now, where I find no solace in the price of the asset below 98K, because we know the target is $92,000, $93,000.
$25. Hey Mitch, can we look at LFCR? Couldn't ignore weekly Gartley higher low type 2. 3 rising valley breaking 200 MA above key support near 7.44. MACD hidden div, maybe money flowing in healthcare and diabetes. Thank you, always much love.
We'll certainly look at that. Is that Gomi, right? One sec. I'm getting situated here. All right, a little early of the stream. Gomi, thanks so much, dude. We'll look at LFC, LSF, CR. Yeah, but this is kind of a price action live stream. We have an ongoing drawdown. Bitcoin is a master culprit, down 3.54%, $3,600. And again, your downside potential here. Now, if they close it and we don't get to 93K, always understand that Asia could come in, market participants could come in, and they could rally the price of this asset up to 99K, 99.3, to confirm its validity as resistance, as they did November 11th, the next level. So they could, any point on the new day, rally it that high to test it. But then eventually, from where it is right now, eventually your downside is between 5.5, 6.82, all the way down to 8.4%. That's your downside potential on Bitcoin, given enough time below 99.3. It could be a fake out, of course. They could just, in power hour, just rally this thing up, man, and recapture 99.3 before the daily candle close this evening. But if they don't, just know the target level. It's all about the levels. We don't ever try to act like we know things. We just knew that we were not uptrending, right? We were constantly regurgitating that information, consecutive lower highs, lower lows, really confirmed momentum in the hands of the sellers. Confirmed it pretty much November 3rd, November 4th. And altcoins, it was already a certain matter that the sellers controlled the momentum of those assets, right? So we're getting a little bounce off the lows, man, as you can see. Just scale in here on above my head so you can always see it. Even if we get off the Bitcoin chart, you'll never miss the Bitcoin price action because it's always here. There you go. All right, so let's just get into Ethereum, down 7.27%. There is zero surprise about this one, right? I mean, like, no controversy. All they did, it was the bear market rally. It was the bearish consolidation structure, the bear flag. They took it to the next inflection point where it was once support. It was resistance. It was resistance. It was resistance going back to 2022. They regarded it as resistance again. I mean, come on. This is so educational. Like price action and how it correlates to historical levels. This is putting on an effing seminar. Not just here, but also Solana. We'll look at that in a second. But I mean, just going for a retest of the 1618, as that's where they pretty much bounced it for that relief reflexive rally. And I'm just thinking $2,900 to $3,000 is on deck. I mean, that's your target. outside of some bearish wave structure that did serve us well in our identification before that C to D wave played out.
Looks like someone had a sneak peek preview at the delayed CPI and jobs data.
What's up, Fibonacci Times, man? Thanks so much, dude. Yeah, I'm not sure. That or people saw Michael Burry closed his fund and they said it's over. You know, that's what they needed for him to close it up. I mean, he's still short. He's still got his puts on his Nvidia, his Palantir. So I'm wondering, you know, and then I guess the news of like what they're never gonna release the job reports for October. Maybe that spooked the market. Maybe it was the fact that they were trying to confirm a lower high, same high on the NASDAQ futures, which we could look at if you're on the Patreon. You were pinged on that stuff yesterday, like practicing caution, because like they're maybe confirming that they can't do anything greater than this. We'll look at it, but again, like there's no surprise here. The lower highs, lower lows, the trend is your friend. The trend is down on altcoins, on Ethereum. You're gunning for your lowest daily candle close since July 15th. Not that crazy. Bitcoin hit its lowest price since May 8th, I believe. So even worse for your largest market cap crypto. Okay, so get wrecked Ethereum, at least 3,060 for a retest of the butterfly, but probably $2,900 to $3,000. So you still have about 6 to 9% downside potential on Ethereum. You do not want to discuss. We do not want to have a discussion about what happens if, say, somehow sellers were able to capture prices below 2,900. We're effed. It's over, dude. You're so screwed. You're going to 2,400, and it's no controversy. It's just like that's where you're going. So I'm not even going to talk about that too much, just because let's see what happens at $2,900, $3,000. We might get another little rally there. But in the end, remember on the 4 hour how it looked? Yeah, there you go, man. Just bearish consolidation, not coming close to threatening the previous discernible swing highs. Talking about this every single day. And they broke look how beautiful, like looking at lesser time scales can be really helpful when you want to see more. Like you can't for the life of you on the daily discern or see how the buyers and sellers were responding to this key level that we know so well back from 2022, as they tested it once, rejected it, and then even tested a second time, and both of these highs were somewhat lower than the high from the 10th and the 9th, right? So you just were looking at classic distribution very locally, very subtly, and it was all, the context was perfect. And look at the flush you got after the buyers tried twice and they failed. The sellers reassumed control again, right? Because they're in full control of this. So nice stuff. I mean, very educational. Ethereum, trend analysis, trend wise, all that stuff. So very bad, boys. Very bad. Okay, I guess we can go to XRP, which, again, like whatever. This one's been kind of outperforming the past few days but it was the worst performer leading into November 4th, but then they rallied it and then went on some kind of short squeeze. But we talked about the inconsequential nature of this little squeeze. There was such a lack of demand in the end from buyers that they could not even go test any support resistance. They could not even test the 200-day simple moving average weakness, and they reversed it. And now you're just only lowest price since November 9th. Not a big deal, again, because they had an outperforming rally from the others. So eventually, though, this has already hit target one of a short setup, 219 from 260 something, and the second target I think patiently awaiting 190, 196. And here's the thing, maybe you never get to 196, 190, right? Not making calls here, but if you ever wanted to strategize any sort of setup for a long, or if you ever wanted to see any sort of place to do it, it's down there. And it's not just going to be when you hit that level. It's going to be after they violate it and then they recapture it and they reconfirm it and then you show accumulation develop. I mean, and that could take a long time. So that's the only place that's actionable, unless you're talking about taking a short in a downtrend, which would have been exactly where that trade setup entry was, right? Like confirming a resistance. You try to short resistance, you try to long supports. Not just by itself, but with forms of confirmation, and maybe you have divergence on your side, maybe you have the trend on your side. Anyway, so that's XRP update, down 4.22%. Is that a joint? No, it's destroyed. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to Solana, which again, put on a seminar for education. My God, it's exceeding the 1618 now. It finally hit it, right? Remember that deep crab, the 886 on the B point, the lower high on the C point. The good, it's good because a bearish wave structure and a bearish trend will tend to be more reliable. If it is reliable, then it would perform well. I mean, you're getting to this level, but it's falling on deaf bids right now. Deaf ears, deaf bids, get it? But yeah, that's like kind of the price reversal zone potential. But again, if you look left, there's nothing here like to help the argument. I mean, like a 1618 and a 200% retrace can flow. That's cool, but you're looking for 136 to 123. I mean, these levels down here are actual supports from history, so I would defer to those. You could get a harmonic optimum price, which would be like 119, a 192. Scott Carney talks about on these extension patterns. So the harmonic optimum price would be literally TA Tetris at like 130. So I would like, eventually I think you'll see a test of those levels. It may not be immediately, right? Because they've already destroyed this thing. It's down over 7%. So that's probably the target zone right there. Okay, trend is friend. It's terrible. We discussed that bearish wave structure. I mean, look at the 4 hour. It was so freaking beautiful. It really was. How they, right? We discussed the methodical price action, and then saw that big flush, and then look at like what they did was they regarded the old resistance as resistance again. So it's like up thrust, back test of up thrust behavior before they sold off. And then you can just see today the fall through, the resolution. It's beautiful, man. Like this really has been a very educational. I think it would be beneficial if people watch the stream while we're identifying these structures. We've already identified the trend, and you get to see how it all plays out. Very good. They've been flushing, man. They've been flushing. But power hours here, so the shorts might cover a little bit. We talked about the recapture, or they might try to retest 99K, 98K as resistance. Here's BNB. Okay, whatever. Down 3.83%. No big deal. Going for the lowest daily candle close since like September 11th. But that $1,000 mark, you know, we've been talking about, it's just been getting regarded as resistance. So. Sorry. Okay. So those are your big cryptos, man. Any surprise? There just can't be a surprise about the way most of these alts have been playing out. I mean, just nothing about them. Like, you know, just what happened? I can't believe they would dump like that. You know, you look at the other majors like Cardano, just patiently awaiting 46, 41, 37 cents. You just put in the lowest high. You know, joke rally, probably bear flag or something. But yeah, once they take out this, they're going to retest in 51 cents. Once they take that out, it'll be a quick ride. 46, 41, 37 cents. Bear trend of all 2025. Disgusting, dude. Just gross. I mean, you could just look at a bunch of different altcoins too, and they're going to be painting the same picture. Hey, let's go look at Filecoin. Remember that time it was up? Dude, again, remember what we discussed this was like, you know, the Binance market makers scammed so many people. They made so much money that they can literally move these. They own all of it. They can control the price of this asset. Remember, it was their butler, the butler's family. You know, it was around the holidays. So, you know, CZ's like, hey, man, just go ahead and buy Filecoin real quick. We're going to pump it. Be sure to sell at 350. And we're going to rug it after that. So that's exactly what's happening, right? It was just a pump and dump, a buyer-inducing rally. You know for a certain fact there were people out there that bought in on this, chasing it, and now they're destroyed. Now they're underwater. Seriously. Okay, so just nothing about this good. That was the whole point of that rally. It was random. There was no structural development that implied the probability was high that was going to happen. It just randomly occurred, and that's casino. Remember, visualize it, chat. Visualize Filecoin Casino with your coin. At a GRT, bro, you're getting a GRT. Remember, it pumped, and now it's just completely putting its lowest high. It's rolling over again. I mean, you could look at this everywhere, man. Everywhere. How about Litecoins? It's only down 2%, but they did, you know, unfortunately tested a very serious level a couple times, once and twice now. You got to hate that. One time they tried, the second time they tried, slightly higher high, it doesn't matter. In fact, the second high, they even tested the demand line, the old demand line, a supply line. So you have like forms of confirmation that there are less market participants involved than what we saw October 7th, August 13th. You're not trading below the 200-day moving average, simple moving average. There's just like, those are bad variables, and you have forms of confirmation that things are bad. So like you could imagine $84 should be tested again in time. Not great, man. I mean, just like all across the crypto market, this is the same sad story. Okay. Remember VeChain, the worst thing you could ever dream of. Remember, like, oh, dude, these coins, dude, they're pumping. Look what they've done, man. Like, they're just, you can tell on the daily where traders are settling up lower than they did. I mean, the price action correlation to this inflection zone is uncanny. It's perfect. We're like right at 1.7 cents, 1.7 cents, right? And then look, they dump it to like lowest levels we've seen in 7-8 years or whatever. Then they rally it on the short squeeze, buyer inducing rally, and they test it again. But you can see now the traders are settling up on the daily lower than they did just in October 20th, 26th. And now you're rolling over again, and you're sitting you're at this 1.56 cent level. And to lose this back from 2022, very bad. Yeah, being like, you're kind of staring off the edge of the abyss where this could be going less than a penny if they continue this downtrend, a very, very well established downtrend. Sellers in control, lower highs, lower lows. So don't lose it, man. Don't lose it, VeChain, for real, or you're screwed. So everywhere you go, man. Anyway, so we can move on. You know, if you want to look at S-Coins more, just let me know. But let's go to the S&P 500. It's pretty disgusting. Sell off today. Maybe we should look at the futures. I like the futures, man. Yep, they sold it off down 1.5%. Unfilled gap, I think, got filled officially from November 7th, that hammer. But yeah, they are now, you can say, I mean, you look at the rally we've had, and very seldom, if at all, have we ever had a formal lower high be put in than the previous discernible major swing high. You haven't. Thought you might have been maybe putting it in, you know, on October 15th, but they rallied it. So maybe, you know, tomorrow and coming next week, they just start putting in green candles and we run again. But yeah, just keep in mind a high and then a lower high. Okay, keep that in mind. That hasn't happened the whole summertime into autumn uptrend, okay? I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just trying to tell you like what exists. Okay, so yesterday, Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a fresh all-time high. First time in human history. We saw a price of $48,400. But today, bearishly engulfing, down 1.6%. Did not quite hit that 1414, but this channel, you're still remaining within the channel, so it's not even a big deal. Yeah, whatever. Just a bad day and an uptrend. No support's broken. You're kind of in price discovery. Your trend's not in trouble until you're taking out 46,580, the previous discernible swing low. And that's about it. Just having a pullback after a record close yesterday. Okay. Then you've got something like the NASDAQ futures, though, that, again, putting in that lower high and that going to lesser time scales really painted a picture here, right here. So it was, they tested once and twice this level, and this is like what on my other chart, my other NASDAQ chart, looking at like a high and then a slightly higher high, and they started rolling it over, and it was like, man, that's like confirmation of, look, I mean, the buyers, they attempted to go threaten the previous highs once, sold off, big sell-off. Then they attempted a rally, and then they just rivaled that previous high, and they started rolling over. And that's like, man, that's confirmation of distribution locally. And you did resolve pretty bad today. I mean, like, you're now below that 4-hour 200 moving average. This augmented channel, demand lines in jeopardy of being lost. Yeah, and you might luck out. They did the same thing in October. Maybe it holds and they pivot it and rally it here. They could, right? Like, dude, I'm not even here to be like, dude, it's over. The trend has reversed. I'm just talking about lately, locally, that price action, not really great. and still it's right there. You know, we got 15 minutes till the candle close, till the closing bell on Wall Street. We've got an hour 15 till futures closes temporarily. Just been a bad day across all the markets. Everything's risked off. Even the metal sold off. So, and one more. We'll look at the Russell 2000 futures real quick, because you can imagine, oh, did they do bad? Yes, they did bad too. Now you're hitting, wow, they're hitting that demand line of the channel, nearing a key horizontal line support resistance, 2368 back from 2021. I think it's probably 2350, 2368 is the zone. But yeah, nearing a big level you don't want to lose, because if you lose that zone, you lose 2350, then you're looking probably at like 2200, 2150. So that's what we got going on right now. You got less than before. Hey, it's Lynn and Garnet. Gnarly, man. What's up, dude?
Sup Soldier, thanks for always staying in the trenches with us when things are good or bad. Could you take a look at PAL? Thanks.
We'll look at PAL. Wasn't guns and ammo? I think that's not Smith & Wesson, is it? Can't remember. Yeah, just kind of like looking at the lesser time scales to see kind of what they were doing. Like they were just trying and tried again, just like the NASDAQ. They tried and they just confirmed way less than before, and you just rolled over, flushed it out. Even that test, the 200 moving average. Yikes, man. Yeah, that 4 hours good for that. See what was going. You can't really tell on the daily. Okay. So those are your index funds and / futures. Okay, not good, man. Not good at all. Let's just run to gold real quick. I mean, gold, like, you know, it's down 0.71% today. Like, you know, it was at one point, I guess, in the morning before the stock market sold off. It was at 42, which is pretty good. I mean, it was up like almost 1%, if not 1% at the highs. So it sold off. But that's just literally the volatility index, man. The VIX will make the bots freak out on gold, silver. You can see silver, right? I mean, they ran it. They were so close to an all-time high, chat. It was this close. Hope they don't double tap. If they don't double top, we got a $60 target. But yeah, I mean, you're just right. Like, you can't ignore that they did test, and they have not been able to succeed yet. Maybe, like, again, I think the culprit of this is this, the VIX. That right there, a 20% rally above $20 on the volatility index. I mean, if it all stays the same or higher in the next 28 minutes, it would be the highest daily close since October 16th. Not a big deal, but you can just see that, like, you've got a lot of like higher lows that have been coming in on the volatility index. I don't know if that means we're going to be getting a huge spike again, but you are seeing like more than before on the lows, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Like, you know, like in June 2024, I mean, it was hitting like this 12. 12's like apparently a big deal to the bots, and they never really let it fall below that. And like, one time they did, and that was it. It went to 10.83 on a wick and then like exploded higher. And then ever since then, the volatility index has never fallen below like 13, 12, 13. And now it's like a 14 base, and then they rallied it and valied it, and then it was a higher low at 16, and now we're running again. So kind of weird, but that's like, again, the culprit of a market-wide sell-off. It's not just crypto, it's not just equities, it's not just commodities, it's everything, man. Okay. So just keeping you apprised to that. Chat, are y'all doing okay, man? I haven't looked. I haven't even popped out my chat yet. Just wanted to go live and provide the value that I possibly could. One sec. Be sure to join the Discord if you haven't joined the Discord, man. It's free to join. Educational resources, all kinds of good stuff in there. Let me post the link here. Okay, the link is pinned to the chat above. Join the Discord if you haven't. Just reading some chat. Yeah, everything, man. Everything's down, dudes. Stacking jars of honey. Rare earth materials doing okay. Just seeing some chat. Hello, good to see y'all. Let me drink a couple sips of my coffee while we talk for a sec. Robbie, you're barely breathing. Well, get some oxygen, man. They've got those. canisters, okay? Look, go watch the movie Spaceballs. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Get that. Is it possible to pop back to 100,000, 300? Of course, dude. Like, dude, anything. Like, they could rally this anywhere. And if it makes a lower high than the 106 level, it's the lowest high of, like, said downtrend, midterm, short-term downtrend we are in, okay? Just being real here. All right, let's look at these Mag 7s because we just tend to do that. Okay, let's look at the worst culprit. My God, the worst to best because it's a bad day. And Tesla, and it's rallied a little bit off the lows, man. But, dude, breaking some key levels. Whew. What they do, though, which is really cool, they did officially fill... Wait, my God, did they do it or not? It depends. Like, if you talk about the candle close, they did not fill the gap at 395.90, but they did fill the wick, the window painting, like, yeah, 396. They filled that gap from September 12th at the lows of day. And you've had somewhat of a rally off the lows. It was down like, what, 8%, 7.9%. Now it's only down 6.42%. $400 is an important level. If you look back from 2021, you can see it was a swing high November 2021, January 2022. Unfortunately, you are below the old all-time high, though, from November 2021. Think about if you bought the top, you were down money. That is crazy, dude. This is about as bad in terms of long-term holding as Ethereum. Like, legit, man. It's as bad. Like, of course, like, yeah, anyone can be advantageous. You know, like the T-shaped inverse head and shoulders, the bullish back test of key levels. I mean, there were great trade setups. But in terms of investing from the top, you know, over this long of a period, 4 years, nothing. You made nothing off the top. So, but okay. I mean, like, it's just disappointing, right? Because Nvidia's seen an all-time high, Google's all-time high, Amazon all-time high, Microsoft all-time high, Apple all-time high, and Tesla and Meta are in the loser bracket of performance of the Mag 7. Fugly, but yeah, rebounding off 400. Maybe it holds, but there's no edge, there's no structure. They tested once, 465. Look at this high back from December 2024, and then they tried twice. And then you could really see on the 4 hour. This is like why the 4 hour is important. Scale in so you can see how they really are regarding this level, right? It's like head and shoulders idea first off, but it was more like they up thrusted through the level, and then they reconfirmed that the level that was once a resistance that was just broken is actually really resistance again. And after that, GG no re, right? Good game, no respawn, because massive markdown, that's where it flushed. And that's really good. That's forms of confirmation. That's the stuff you actually want to see. So you don't want to just to randomly collapse. You wanted to see, oh yeah, they confirmed it. Okay. Right? 465.30. There it is. The peak right there. Confirmed, reconfirmed as resistance. Okay. That's your worst performer. Nvidia, second worst. It's off the lows. They filled a gap, okay, from November 7th. They took it down nearly 183. I mean, it's really not a big deal, man. Like, you're uptrending. You're still not making a lower low or anything like that. You may just come in for a second local retest. This is actually not a big deal. Like, Tesla's kind of a big deal. That's like they broke a neckline of a potential major, massive double top. That's ugly. That's like a technical event. There's no real technical event on Nvidia occurring except a formal gap fill, which is good, and still trading above a swing high from at 183. Below that, starting to get sketch, and really below 180 is going to be super sketch. Like, that might be where Michael Burry's right early. Dang, dude. So just keep that in mind. Not a big deal technically yet, but I mean, bad day, but don't want to lose 183 probably. Google, after a record couple days, record close 2 days ago, record intraday price yesterday. They gapped it down near lows of day, down about 3%. Okay, good news is the unfilled gaps above us, so they might fill that before, you know, furthering a correction. We do have unfilled gaps below us, that's for sure, 259 and kind of like 274. So where's my music, man? What'd they do? Did they stopped it, man. All right, Bitcoin 98,137. Nothing great, man. I mean, like, Bitcoin below 98K, just like Bitcoin below 108, bad. But my Tom Lee, but my Bitcoin treasury company, but my Michael Saylor, but my Dylan LeClaire is on the board of Metaplan. Like, all those jokes, man. They're all jokes. MicroStrategy, lowest level since October of last year. Look at Amazon, my God. On a macro day like this, there's no way anyone in the world was going to be able to defend that level with the VIX spiking like that. Sorry. At lows of day as I'm speaking to you, looks like they're going for a 232 test. That looks like the target, right? There's not a gap. The gap's at like 222, 223, but I'm talking that old overhead resistance that was very well regarded and respected over, the summer. That's on deck, I guess. That's probably your target. So have an alert set up if we see a fresh low. But yeah, disappointing after earnings. I mean, dude, robots and 30,000 humans laid off. Come on, bro. Send it higher. All right, Microsoft down 1.6%. No big deal today. I mean, it's not really doing anything that's crazy, right? Like, in order to reconfirm the uptrend, they're going to have to break 555, 554. Good luck. Anything that it craps out above that or below that is going to be like a lower high, and then hopefully they don't confirm it locally. You still have this idea if things continue to unwind. Like, look what they did. It was looking pretty good, right? Until today. And now it's like, what is this candle? That's not great. They better wake back up tomorrow, man. Otherwise, that's not a really pretty candle. Not really. A potential tower of Baradur. It will not be a confirmed tower of Baradur until they break 493 or 492. Which it doesn't look like it's going to be this week unless something terrible happens tomorrow. Like if Microsoft's at 492 tomorrow, the whole market's wrecked. Okay. All right, let's go to Meta. It's actually flat on the day. But they're just, this thing's already been so destroyed. I mean, absolutely demolished. That, okay, of course it's going to be flat today while everything else is like catching up. I mean, but it is still threatening potentially the lowest daily close since May 9th. They've tested once again this $602 level back from October of last year. They're trying to hold on to that. There is no structure. There's no strategy. There's no edge. There's no bullish divergence. There is just bearish convergence. There's nothing about this right now that implies that a reversal is coming, even if it did come. That happens. Terrible trend, right? Classic distribution crescendoed with a terrible earnings report. And you just follow through on the breakaway gap. Very ugly. But actually the only of the Mag 7 positive today. But, then you talk about Apple, the best of them all. Yes, Apple. Just skating around, all-time high. Guess what? It's going to be the third highest daily candle close ever. Third. Only behind yesterday and the day before's. Those are the two highest closes ever, and this will be the third. And 2 minutes to go to the closing bell. So, yeah. This one, just the defensive stock by far, and it's pretty obvious because of its price action on these down days. It has not been budging. So, good for Apple. Hype in the chat. Great stock. Trade above the old all-time high. No problem. And certainly holding up better than all of them today, really. I would say even Meta, because it's, again, Meta's in a different context. Downtrend, bad. This is a major uptrend. Okay, so those are your Mag 7s. Okay, did the quantum computer bubble continue to unwind today? Because they are amongst the major losers again. Dude, you got to see this. Remember the bubble? Yesterday, I mean, QBTS was down. I was talking about yesterday, 43% today. All right, so in 29 days, QBTS down 50%. That's bubble stuff. Remember that all we were talking about was the dead cat bounce. It was textbook dead cat bounce, a 50% retrace, and then the big bearish engulfing candle, and it's just been drawing down, going for the lowest daily candle close since September 17th. Not a big deal, but that is a huge crash. RGI is even worse because it's down now 60%, I believe, from its high point, from its all-time high to today, down 57% in 29 days. Unwinding fast. And probably nothing till 2144. That's what you got going. So, all right, we got less than a minute now. I got a lot of assets drawn down. Rocket Lab, and this bubble is popping. Yeah, unwinding here too. The thing would just nonstop. Eventually, they take them to the cleaners. All right. Jeez, just disgusting. Disney completely destroyed. Down about 8%. Netgear continuing to collapse after hitting the last target of the setup. MicroStrategy, we gotta look at it real quick because the daily. All right, ding, ding, ding. Okay, the closing bell confirmed. Look at this, chat, on MicroStrategy. Remember Bitcoin treasury companies, the bubble? It was a bubble. It was a massive bubble. Lowest daily candle close just confirmed on MicroStrategy since October 17th, 2012. My freaking birthday. Wow, of last year. Obviously took out the lows from March 7th. This is why the M-shape idea just did make sense because there was just no help at the 886, like no horizontal line support. That's where you want your M-shapes to complete at. Like you just want it to complete 886. Oh, it's confluent with support resistance from 1995. None of that. Okay, so still probably just waiting. I mean, they're going to go test 198, of course, right? March 2024's peak. But the stronger support resistance is going to be around 174, 178. This thing has been getting routed. It's down since July, down 54% in 120 days. That's a little like that's like a barbecue, right? We were looking at the quantum stocks, right? QBTS, RGTI. Those are like 600 plus degrees on your grill. 1 minute on one side, flip it. 1 minute on the other. It's freaking done. Medium rare, perfect steak. 28 days lost half its value. This being down, the same amount in 100 plus days is barbecue, right? Slower, 200 degrees. You leave it in there for 4 hours. All right. So disgusting, absolutely gross. Probably some more downside. Any rally will be obviously a lower high than the previous highs, and it'll roll over again later. So your trend is just so bad that it's insurmountable. Okay. So we just went across the markets. I mean, no one was safe for the most part. Look at like Intel. You gotta hate this, man. This goes all the way back to 2021. This supply line. They have failed to break it, and now like you virtually, I mean, like without a shadow of a doubt, like good God, they've up thrust to do it, and they're actually confirming it as resistance, and it's almost like head and shoulders. I hope not. I'm like, dude, I mean, it's kind of like head and shouldery. Like that's the neckline's clearly there, and the neckline's a horizontal line support resistance from history. But left shoulder, head, right shoulder, you don't want to lose this level, and then you got 34.46. You don't want to lose that. You got a major drawdown potential below these levels. So they're just confirming supply line as supply line again after failing. Up thrust, back test of up thrust. You got to not like that. Like locally, that's not great. Dang, man. No, we can go. I mean, let's just say everything took it on the chin today. So I think we had a couple requests. So the market being closed, maybe we could just knock those out. Got dinner in a little while. Okay. First request was well, someone actually requested Dow, like Dow Chemical, I believe. Dow Inc. And I guess I missed it. It was like the last request of the stream from Veterans Day. Kind of interesting. I mean, a little bit. This is why I requested it, okay? So it's interesting. Like, it's crashed. I mean, like, no one wants this garbage, but it hit this low, all-time low from March 2020. And look at it. I mean, like, they are... It was up 4.9% today. Wow, dude. Look at that. I mean, that's why he requested this before this candle today. So he obviously saw what was going on locally, and they recaptured, reconfirmed, and it's actually a higher low. So, I mean, that is great. That could be the lowest risk area of all time. I mean, I guess you'd be targeting, if you were him, his name was Patrick, I believe. It was Patrick. 25.37 would be your target. You break that, then I would think gap fill. $30 would be a second target. So someone let Patrick know. Very interesting on Dow. Nice request, dude, actually. Dang it. Okay, let's LFCR. Okay. Lifecore Biomedical. Down 4% today. What wasn't? For real. Ah, okay. I see why. Because you like the Momo shift. It looks very pretty. I mean, locally, lately. Dang. I mean, yeah, obviously the inverse head and shoulders behavior. Right there. Kind of just momentum shift. I gotta go to the weekly, though. I mean, let's see what you got here. Here, first off, kind of untradeable. Reason being, you got 168,000 volume, 30-day average. That's like what, 1.6 of a tenth of the volume we need regularly on the day. We need 1 million volume on average, and you just don't have that here. I mean, I'll try to like plot and stuff. I just don't want people. I mean, that was really great. I mean, outside of the low volume, look at this level from 04, 09. They recaptured, they reconfirmed it, and that's where it held. And then look, they rallied it and sold off, and there's too much demand. And that's where that like little inverse head and shoulders behavior is going on. But remember, the trend is so bad. Lower highs, lower lows. But one thing they have done is they have put in like,
Is Rivian still a good entry? I missed the boat last week and not sure if the risk reward is worth it on a back test.
Greg P, think about the amount of money you have to allocate into that asset, and like you're worried about it. Yeah, it did go up 35% in a week. My God, you know, it did that 7 days. But you know, you got 100% allocation. You could allocate maybe incrementally 5% a day. You know, let it keep pulling back 5%, 5%, 5%. Oh my God, it lost 15% of its value next week. You just keep dollar cost averaging into an asset that's putting in consecutive higher highs, higher lows.
UPS, please.
What's up,
Appreciate
man?
you, Mitch.
Things of the 20 do. We'll look at UPS. We'll do it, man. They're also laying off people like crazy. So yeah, you got an M shape here. I could see that probably 786 M shape, not an 886. But yeah, I don't even know how would you strategize something like this. So there's another big level you can see on the weekly from 1998, 1999. You can see in 2004 was resistance. It's been support in 2020, 2021. That you're up against that. Like that's a big level. I mean, if they could ever break that, you probably got a target of $9. But again, the low volume kind of makes me feel sussed out. And they have in this downtrend put in lows and then rallied mid-higher lows. You know, you can see, and they rallied, and it looks like it's breaking out, almost like the same structure here before it just dumps and makes lower highs and rolls over to lower lows. So, pretty cool on the bottom side. Like I could see one low, second low, third low, maybe, if it's real. So I guess, again, this situation on LFCR, you know, stop loss below 647, if that's the case, I don't think you would want... it's really tough because you don't even know. You're not breaking out yet. You're just not. You can see the level. You're up against it. So it could just fail. They failed in July. They failed in September. They might fail again. They might just be putting in, look, like locally, one high, second high, third high, and this one ends up lower than these. I mean, this is just like crappy situation on this one. But yeah, I do see like this, but it's hard to trust it with such low volume and such a garbage trend, like 1 and 2, and then maybe 3, you know, maybe. But I don't really have much conviction on this or high confidence. So thank you, dudes. Let's look at the next one. POW, outdoor holding company, but it's about ammo. Okay, ammo. Well, at one point we had an M shape here, but just kind of dudded out. It's not dead or anything. It's just like, my God, dude. Think about how long. 1,085 days since it completed that M shape. Just nothing. Nothing, dude. So you're still down there. I mean, this is what a lot of altcoins did that, remember, at one point. I mean, you still have that completed M shape, but let's see. I think you're more so interested in this. How this level, oh, that is nice. Like someone could strategize down here. They could. $1.05 is like you're kind of way off that though, right? You've almost doubled. You're up 80% since, like, you know, hitting this. No one's requested this, but like you can see almost retested it. It's almost like they, okay, these, see these candle closes right here? It's like a little bitty zone there. It's kind of like they recaptured that, retested that zone, and it's been rallying ever since. So upside potential is pretty good here, actually. I mean, they could take this thing to 282 to 299. A couple wick highs from 2007, 2008. That'd be your upside target. I mean, that'd probably be, if you were in on 111, 105 down there, close to it, you'd be targeting for 276, $3. Never broke that, 374. But yeah, I mean, again, you are too far removed from the actionable strategic area, unfortunately. But you still have upside.
Hey Mitch, can you look at Nat for old time's sake? Could be a deep crab formed on daily from January till about now. Or upside? Who knows? Join
Claudio, what's up,
Discord,
dude?
have
Nat,
fun.
yeah, isn't that like a miner, gold miner or something like that? We will, we'll take a look. That's all I can say. Thank you, dudes. Yeah, POW, interesting. Still got like maybe 50 to 64% upside. I mean, but like a pullback here, there's an unfilled gap just below you from last week, 162. It gapped up this week. I mean, this week it's up 11.6%. So, but man, what a pullback off the highs. Dang, dude. Today, past few days probably, yeah, dude, gapped up and then kind of shooting start a little bit. Still an unfilled gap of 163. So, yep, that was your level. Space-time continuum between July and August. Thanks, Lennon, gnarly dudes. Greg P, Rivian Silga. Again, I was telling you, right? You don't have to take your full amount. You could allocate. Why don't you take 5% of it and just throw it in daily as it keeps pulling back, and you keep DCAing. Okay. We will now look at UPS. All right. Remember, this one had earnings and it gapped up. We discussed even, it was like the day before earnings, someone requested it. And it was like, look, man, it could be so bad that they could just pump this thing because, like, you know, layoffs or something. And they did lay off like a crazy amount of people, but they tried to fill the gap and failed because this $93 support level. I'll show you where it is. It goes back to 2019, 2014. And that's about it. That's it's already trading above 89, which is a another crazy level. So this is where, though, you've seen it it bottom out, you know, in 2020. A lot of good stuff there. But like the trend's just so bad, man. It's really hard to like get behind something that's so miserable. Look at it. I mean, dude, it's just been lower highs, lower lows for years, like over 3 years. Getting closer to 4 years. But yeah, above 93 could be good. But they could take it down to $89 and fill the gap and test that key level out support, and it'd be a better entry at $89. But still below the 200-day moving average. 200 moving average still down sloping. You're still not making a higher high than previous discernible major swing high. So it's like your trend-wise terrible, even with a gap up. I wonder if it's a breakaway gap. I don't know even if it is. Just, it's such a bad trend. It's so hard to want to be like, dude, yeah, time to long. If you were long, if you already chose to go long, maybe you just have a stop below $92, I guess. That's the only thing I could say. Cut quick. Anon, there you go. I don't know if that even helps, but what do you want me to do, man? It's such a bad trend. Nordic, oh, that's right. Oh, tankers. Remember tankers? It's been so long, man. Oh my God. Wow, crazy. Look at this, dude. Whoops. Stemmed right. Wow. The old days, man. The old butterfly, and then the back test of key levels, and then it ran and then hit all the targets, A and C point, went above it and had a big drawdown, lost what, 78% of its value. Yeah, lost 78% of its value on the dot and then rallied as April. There wasn't much of anything there, though. I mean, there wasn't any way we could have strategized that pullback. Because they didn't, I don't even think when 239 was lost, they recaptured it. They did reconfirm it for sure. They like actually did do that. Really tough to see. You had to be here in April, man, paying attention to that recapturing and retest, and it's just been running ever since. The tankas, man, marine shipping, old setup, old asset we've looked at before. Okay, so I mean, above 347. That's a big level, dude. I mean, above 347 is huge. 2018 swing high, 2020. It's been a swing low spring back test 2023 before it ran higher. I mean, above that, 446 maybe. Maybe 383 first. Yeah, 383 first. If they break 383, you can see that swing high of the harmonic. You can see a reversal point in 2022. You can see obviously it was a swing low, throughout 23 and 24, and then it was regarded as resistance before it collapsed, right? So that's a huge deal. 381. Don't ignore that. That's probably where it's headed. If it breaks that, that's when we can start talking about the consequences, which historically consequences would take you most of the time to like 446, if not 441. So I would say it's all about the levels. This one's just been uptrending. There's no structure here, right? It's just like impulsing higher. Good trend for now. I don't even know if we could plot a channel here and make, oh, that's a nice demand line. But see, they're starting to try to break it. Like they failed. They're trying to break it again. Really nice channel though. Respect on the bottom and top. Look at the heart line respect too. That's a beautiful channel. So they might be trying to bust this thing out, but you know your upside's to 381. So it's not much upside from here. It's been running all year since April. So. Okay. Cool, dude. That was the last formal request, man. And we've been live now about an hour, you know, so I hope y'all are enjoying the live stream. If you are, hit the like button, the bell, the sub. I was just here to cover these markets and the drawdown that came with them today. Volatility index spiked, and it was bad for mostly everything. It was going so good, dude. I mean, it's like Dow Jones all-time highs yesterday. Crazy, man. Yeah, thanks for the we got a few people watching, don't we? 660 y'all. Yeah, and it's early stream too, so, and like Bitcoin's dumping and it hasn't really like crashed or anything, so we can just go back top of the hour and just look at Bitcoin again real quick on the big screen. Yeah, just disgusting, man. Like, trend is friend. Below 200. You're now below the 50. Look, you're about to have a death cross, chat. Anyone talking about that? Death cross imminent. Let's say the next 3 to 5 days. You'll get it. The bearish crossover, the 50 and the 200. Where we had a death cross that was meaningless, that flipped almost, you know, within a week or two. The whole trend reversed. The dragon played out, but then we had a golden cross in May, and then we were like peaking. Like when the golden cross happened, we were peaking, and then we saw that was an all-time high, but then we had a 10 to 12.5% correction. I mean, like immediately after the golden cross, and now we're, since then, that's the last cross we had. We're about to get another one, which is a death cross. So not great, man. And then we'll just real quick look at the weekly so you can see the consequences of losing a level that we have held on to. Now, again, like, you know, they did last week. They did recapture it and close the week above it. But look at this immediately losing the lows from last week. So you can see the 50-week simple moving average has been tested a multitude of times, August 2024 and then April of this year. But now, unless something changes in 3 days, 3 hours, a miracle now. A miracle would have to happen. You're losing that 50-week simple moving average. And typically what will happen is if you lose the 50 in the uptrend, the prevailing trend, you eventually want to run to the 200. The 200, unfortunately, is so much lower, dude. $55,800 right now. Good luck, man. It's fugly. And so what do you mean, man? Like, okay, so for instance, like the last cycle we had, right, where they tested the 50, they tested it and they lost it, and then it started like flipping, or became like resistance. The price was trading below the 50 moving average, and it was down sloping. I mean, look what happened. I mean, you eventually did go and test that 200-week simple moving average. You actually fell below it, which was crazy. Yeah. So just not trying to scare anyone. I'm not even talking about 200.
Can you look at Manu for the football fans? Much love and appreciate the work.
Manu. Hold on, sorry, couldn't see that. Yatu Gamut the second. Thank you, Yato. We'll look at Manu. Yeah, sure thing, dude. Of course. Right after this. So, I mean, I don't know what you think about that, chat, but it's a pretty significant event to lose the 50 so resoundingly like this. And by far, you've already, last week with the candle close, you confirmed the double top. One top, second peak. So the measured move of that double top from the break of the confirmation line, the target is $88,373, like literally. So that is double tap, confirmed last week, follow through this week. If you perform moderately, you get an $88,000 Bitcoin. If you get a 100% measured move. So just
hey Mitch, can't you take a look at EVX?
What's up, AG? Yeah, sure thing. No problem. We'll absolutely look at EVEX. Thank you. All right, and then how about the monthly, man? That measured move, they could never send it any higher. The measured move of the cup with handle, man. That was it. Literally, that was it. They tried 3 out of 4 months from July to October, and it was just, nope, not happening, bro. Unfortunately, on the monthly, there's just nothing here. There's no support. It's like, if anything, you lost 102.9. That's a support resistance. It was an old high, and now you're breaking it pretty hard. And what's left? I mean, a candle close at 82. Big support at 73. Way bigger support at 61.58. But I'm not even saying we're going that low. I'm just saying, like, looking at that, that's just kind of crazy. 50-month moving average is at 56,000. That's right around where the 200-week moving average is. They're about the same. So, yikes. And I mean, like, you know, again, Ethereum's gross, dude. It's really gross. Just waiting on 3K. Below the 200 moving average again. Weekly wise, yeah, I think you're just waiting for 3K, no doubt. Hopefully they hold it. If they don't, even on the weekly, you have to understand, like, on the weekly, there is no discernible swing low that's probably till $2,000. So wherever they pivot this thing, they could take it to the 200-week moving average at 2,500 on Ethereum and make a higher low there. Like, they could pivot it and put it'd be the highest low since the bottom. But yeah, that's just brutal, man. It was a false bullish breakout, and now the consequences are we're just running to the next big level, which again is like $3,000, $2,900. So where's your 200-week here? Oh, look at that! You're right at the 50-week moving average. You tested it last week, and that's where you bounced. But you're probably not going to be as fortunate of a sun this time around on the second test. You never are, really. So that's where you're at. Bitcoin, I broke it. Ethereum is virtually at it. 31.39. The 50. Okay. So we'll get a couple requests. We'll look at them. Bitcoin's off the lows a little bit. 98,400 and change. You can hit that like button, the bullet sub if you're enjoying this early drawdown stream. Okay, it's daytime here in Miami in the penthouse. We're just watching all the cards fall as they are. I mean, crypto, no surprise. Manchester. Wow, that's crazy. Publicly traded. Okay, let's go to the weekly. I've never been here before. No one's ever requested this, mate. It's like a heart rate monitor. Yeah, so not really much of an investment. All we can do is identify the levels in this no trend. looks like you see that, you know, the swing lows from 2014 and 15, 16, 20, 24. And then you got resistance on the top end, $19. That's your range. That's your range. If anything, extended to $20, right? So nothing actionable until you get to, well, I don't know, duplicate. Okay. Nothing actionable until 1350 to 1440 if you were going to range bound trade it anyway. So you would need to lose another 8 to 13% before you could even wait for a structure to develop. Very tough, you know, no trends. And in fact, like, you kind of got some bad data where you've got one high and you've got a second high. And that second high, they couldn't even test the top of the trading range before the rolling over the past few weeks. Nothing about this sticks out as actionable right now, which is fine. If it's not actionable, that means like there's no discernible edge. There's nothing implying that there's a higher probability of this reversing to the upside imminently. And if there's not that, then there's just no reason to take action on it. You're just literally at a slot machine pulling a lever if you don't have an edge. And you're certainly not at a level where you could strategize in any way, because the price of the asset's virtually never reversed here. Maybe one time it reversed here, okay? But like, below the 200, it's just a no trend, and you're not at the bottom of the no trend. The only, like, if you're in a trading range, you're looking to long at the bottom of a trading range. But even if you're at the bottom of a trading range, you don't necessarily have an edge. You must wait for structures to develop, and that takes time. And you don't have any of that right now. Trading range, you could take action. On the top side, you'd be going short, but at the same time, you don't just go short. You don't have an edge when the asset hits the top of the trading range. You wait for a structure to develop, like a 3 falling peaks, a distribution structure. You don't have any of that on Manchester. So, again, like, cool, dude. Like, trading the same price as trading at in 2013. Garbage. Not an investment at all. Okay? It's just not. Cool, dude, an M shape. There's certainly an M shape that, you know, I mean, I'll identify it for the sake of the memes and the harmonic bros. Like, oh, look, dude, it's an 886. Dude, they did it, man. That's crazy. They freaking did it. What a bounce, you know? But I'm just not sure if this is going to manifest anything. It's like a Gartley bat combo. It's in that little estuary between 60%. It's like a 60%. It's a Gartley, 886 Gartley. Okay, really nice. So maybe if they, like, you know, did something like this.
Hey Mitch, can we take a look at GME on the weekly? Thanks for everything you do.
If you did that on Manchester, you know, they might be like a good type 2 return with some local, you know, price action favorable from the old levels. That might be actionable, but it might be in June 2026 by the time that even happens. So that's what you would want, okay, if you wanted to take action. You don't have that yet, so I would wait. Okay, thanks, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to go too far into that. What's up, TLW? Yeah, GameStop was starting to look kind of sus last time we looked. Yeah, one sec. Yeah, dude. EVEX. Eve Holding. Okay. Oh yeah, you still there, man. I mean, this. How can anything do well and like when the market's deciding to sell off? Okay. Yeah, it's still like there, but we had discussed that, like, you don't have any help where these valleys are coming in. I like the high volume on the third valley, but dude, again, down 8% today. Like, it hasn't had a green candle since late September. I mean, it's like every single week it's been red closes. And of course this week, because the macro is now rolling over, and that's your problem. And the other problem is you don't have any help. Like, you want to be above 531, 570, but the structure is concluding its development below it, so it makes it a lot more difficult because your upside could just be to 530. They couldn't even run it up to that in October, but yeah, you're technically fine on this one until you fall below 364. I don't know if you'd want to own it below that, to be real. So it's still, like, I guess, a valid potential 3 rising valleys, very proportionate to each other and symmetrical, but again, you're just not great. You know, this whole month's been terrible. 5 weeks been gross. And they did conclude it with a perfect shooting star. And God, you gotta look back and just say, wow, they really did Steve Neeson this S. Shooting star perfectly. So, yeah, I just hope that this swing low holds 360. But if not, it'd be invalid. That's kind of your cutoff. All right, so it's not dead, but it hasn't done anything. I don't know how it could with the macro doing what it's doing, the VIX spiking. So that's your EX. Not dead yet, but no positive price action either. So the verdict is still out. Okay, the next one was GameStop. Remember stonks? And this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's done, dude. There's a reason to not own this asset now. Understand me. GameStop, you could be short on this, and you're probably going to be faring pretty well. You do not want to own GameStop now. This is why. The most recent discernible events on this chart, where everything was good, they're making higher lows, but then this is the killer. This is it. That was it, chat. $27 key level. Regarded as resistance, confirmed, less than before, less than we saw December and May. It is confirmed. Fell below the 200 moving average. And now you're below $21. This is down, massive downside. I would say minimum probably 1568, then 1226 after that. This is done. Okay, there's, again, levels are there to help us gauge if there's a reason to own it or not. The argument is now to not own GameStop. Let's hope you're listening. Terrible idea. You're about to lose a lot of value, most likely. Distribution, pathetic. Below 200, 200 is down sloping. Breaking key supports today. No reason to own. Okay, that's it. Dang, dude, really? I don't have my other Jesus Chimes, but Jesus Chimes for Bird Feeder renewing his annual membership. Holy crap, man. Hype in the freaking chat. Hype in the freaking chat, dude. Sorry, I still haven't memorized these folders yet. Dang, man.
Hype in the chat!
Bird Feeder's in the house. Thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate that. Holy crap. 100% crowdsourced community, man. Like, I don't have sponsors. Never have. I don't monetize to my detriment. Understand, me not monetizing is bad for me. It's terrible for a live streamer to not monetize on YouTube. You don't have discoverability. The algorithm is against you, does not want to promote your stuff because you're not making money for the publicly traded company, Google. So I do that for you. So when people join the annual membership, Patreon, they tip on the stream for a request, they buy the merch. You are the sponsor of the stream, the only one too. So keep that in mind. Thank you. Whew. We'll see. That was the last 4 more requests, by the way. Get wrecked. GameStop looks terrible, chat. Oh my god. I just want to puke looking at this, okay? Okay. Everything kind of rallying off the lows. Well, XRP is not. Look at the, man, the weekly on XRP is so miserable, dude. It is like nothing to do. Nothing until like at least 208, which was the lows of last week anyway. So bad, dude. Like that is, it's at lows of day right now too. How? Bitcoin's kind of off its lows a little bit. So, what's up with that? Wow, dude. Yeah, it's ugly. It's fugly, man. I think gold rallied a little bit. I think I had an alert go off or something. Gold, it's only down 0.5%. I would consider that a big win. Gold and Apple today. Holy crap. I mean, the way they held up. Phenomenal. But you just wonder, this attempted rally, where will it conclude? Because, like, dude, you know how these things go. It's like this, 886, and then, oh, it's over. Then the M shape develops, dude. Remember, they'll probably do this. If they don't do that, then they'll probably do this, a slightly higher high to get the dumbest of dumb money you've ever seen in your entire existence to buy, and then the shark, right? So it's probably going to conclude both that way. I mean, most likely. Or that, you know, like, of course they could just do this and then this and then this and then all of a sudden we have an ascending triangle like we had before, and then they just keep it going to 5K by you know, Q3, Q2 next year. Yeah, so you're probably beginning a consolidation phase, even though we know they're attempting a rally on gold. Should have been live over an hour. I just wanted to go live early to cover what was happening. It was bad, man. It was bad. The worst thing in the world that could happen would be follow through tomorrow. Okay, if, wow, man, like the NASDAQ futures were down today and it was ugly. The worst thing, yeah, and look where they're kind of like trading at, like this kind of augmented demand line. I augmented it just to contain these swing lows from September and October and even this month. And you do have nice heartline support there anyway. So just trying to make sense of this channel and what they're trying to do here. They're right at it. So like the worst thing in the world would be tomorrow that we got another 2% down day. That would be a rout. And that's probably, I think you might be in trouble trend wise if you lose that. Because just remember the 4 hour, what we already got. We got confirmed less than before. 1 and 2 confirmed. Less market participants involved with the index fund than we saw in October. Even though I know we've done that before. So it's going to be a really big deal. They like have to start recovering soon. As you can see, the lowest low, and then they rallied. Then a higher low, and then they, like, again, they confirmed it and sold off. And then we got a big rally, like pretty much right where we are. We need to have a violent rally to make a higher high than these highs. Like that's the only way we're going to get out of this like soon. So it's got to be like, you can't have another 2% down day tomorrow. That would probably kill the summertime trend for real. You might be cooked then. All right. So that's where we're at. It's a big crossroads, a trend crossroads, a channel summertime Q3, Q4 trend in jeopardy, but it was in jeopardy in mid-October, and you somehow got pulled out of it. You're just praying they do it again. Got to do a hat trick here, man. Oh yeah, we didn't look at total. I like totals. Okay, well, we'll do it, man. I like totals. Well, remember, dude, it was a bear pole bear flag. You know, they went and tested the 200 moving average as resistance. Look at it now, man. It's beautiful. That is such TA respect, chat, to be able to identify the change in the trend when you can see the lower highs came in, then they confirmed it, and then you broke the key level, then you back tested as resistance. You even got a falling three methods, and then follow through, and then the bearish consolidation. And then you broke it. You're going for your total market cap's going for its lowest daily candle close since July 1st. And unfortunately, there's just really nothing here support wise. I mean, 3.3 trillion, maybe 3.13, excuse me. Yeah, you got a couple swing lows there. Like you see December 2024, it was a swing high in March. That was the Trump pump and dump. Like literal fraud, crazy insider fraud. It's so crazy. I'll never forget that. And then it was a support in June. So maybe 3.12, but I'm thinking the harder of hard targets is going to be 3 trillion. 3 trillion data. 3 trillion data. All right. So I mean, 4 hour was even more beautiful. It was just artwork, like literal artwork, like perfect. So that's what we got, man. Unfortunately, loatheth as I am to say, bad bad, you know, downtrend, not uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows would have been great. I would have loved to flip the chart over and be like, dang, dude, look at the recapture level. Look at that positive price action. Look at that huge run, the higher high, and then look at this downslope and consolidation. Look, broken out. Like, dude, we're headed to 3 trillion. We're going way higher, man. In opposite world. Yep. No one's coming to save your S coins, that's for sure. Bitcoin might just hang around and do okay, but you're thinking if what we are witnessing on Bitcoin is real today, if it's real, you have a $93,000 target. Let's say $92,750 target. The swing lows, look at that, back from April all the way back November 2024. That's the target below this level given enough time. Okay. And again, like, don't even be like, oh my, they could rally it going into close. They could do it, you know, within the next 2 hours, easy. But if they close it below, don't even think that you're out of the woods with a test at this level, because they do like to test and confirm the validity of old levels that were once support flipping to resistance. They would want to do that anyway. So just flip the chart. Exactly, dude. All right, chat. Well, y'all are pretty quiet today. Pretty somber. I get it, man. But I was just live to cover the markets for you. So live an hour, 20 minutes. I think that's good. If we start collapsing again, I'll be sure to come back out and do what I can. I do have plans this evening, but yeah, thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. I'll be back. Stay safe out there. Until next time, respect the TA.
I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this. Feels so good.
Just close the fucking door. Close the door.